Okay, we should be back up once again, guys. Yep, I did have to restart the game, which did mean that the stream was ended and restarted, but we are back, and as you can see, we are getting into qualifying once again. So we are 20 minutes delayed now in Formula 3. What happened? So unfortunately, Sway didn't do the lobby settings correctly, and because there's an issue going on right now with F1, I wasn't able to join the new lobby, so I had to restart the stream and restart my game. So that is what happened, Jamie. But we are here now to get ourselves underway, and it is clear skies now in qualifying. So we could have been treated to a bit of changeable conditions in the previous lobby, but this time it is clear skies ahead of the foreseeable future. But we do have the full 18 drivers back in once again, and Jan is once again first out on track. So we'll go on board with Jan. Yeah, I was the one in practice before. I literally just jumped in it to make sure I could join lobbies. That was the whole reason there for me joining the session. I wasn't going in there to actually practice. It was just to make sure I could join the session, and I was able to, but once we restarted the lobby, I was not able to join this particular session, so I had to restart the game. But Jan is going to take us on a flying lap now of this circuit, so we'll see how Jan gets underway as we begin a flying lap here in Portimao. DRS wide open, running down into turn 1, braking just before the 50-meter board. As we go through turn 2 and second gear now for turn 3, so not down into first this time around. Short shifting up into 5th for turn 4 to get good traction on the exit. DRS wide open once again on the run down into turn 5. Little bit of traffic up ahead. Jan will be hoping that it stays out the way as we go through the left hand kink of turn 6. Now into turn 7, 6th gear, and then braking down for this uphill right-hander of turn 8. Very easy to lose the car there as we go through turn 9, 7th gear flat out, and now through the double right-hander of 10 and 11. And now through the left-hander of turn 12, into the hairpin of turn 13, and Yaham being just ahead, just providing a little bit of dirty as we go through turn 14, but will provide some good slipstream as we go through 15, and to the line will come Jan now. DRS wide open, and it's a 17.1 there for Jan as Jan sets the initial pace, immediately beaten by the Scuderia Ferrari of Stevie in the background. As I believe we have not Dylan, not Waffles, who is coming to the line. I'm not sure who is actually coming to the line, but Wesker has put it up on pole with a 16.7. Meanwhile, the teammate we're on board with TTG Waffles is Mad Jonas there. Gets ahead of Wesker as Waffles goes up into 5th there. Starting to get some times coming in as we go on board with Johan, getting a little bit out of shape as we look to find the next person to cross the line. We have Scuba to the line, who is going to do a 17-0, jumps up in the third place there. For the man reserving tonight is Scuba, as we got Yaham off track and in the mud, as Dylan to the line. 17.8, a little bit off the paces Dylan at the moment, as we look to see who is going to be the next man to cross the line. Pewdie Boy just getting underway. Who is going to be next? In fact, we're going to go on board with the reigning Formula 3 champion in CR7 as he comes to the end of the middle sector, as we go into turn 13. But all good, guys, we are back and we are in the full swing of things once again. Shouldn't be any more issues as we go through turn 15 with CR7 to the line. He'll come. Is it going to be pole position? It is going to be provisional pole position by a chunky margin of 3.5 tenths there for CR7, really stamping his authority early in this season, as Carlsbury is actually popping himself up in the third. We just missed that. Look how close it is to Matt Jonas, Wesker and Carlsbury. Very, very close indeed, as I believe that is Dave to the line, and Dave, actually no, it was Dylan, sorry, Dylan to the line, gets himself up the order, as we got Poldy now. To the line will come the Aston Martin. What's it going to be for Poldy? It's going to be a 16.8, chucks himself up into 5th position. Good lap there, as we got a Pewdie Boy going up into 12th place. Still waiting on 2 cars to set a lap time, and that is Yaham and Graham, who's just coming out of the pits right now. Graham, the man who finished 2nd in Formula 4 last season, promoted into Formula 3 for this season. How is he going to get on? And not only how he's going to get on, how is Jan and AJ going to get on as well? The 3 drivers promoted from last season's Formula 4 into this season's Formula 3. As we've got Mad Jonas there, putting it on provisional pole at a 16.2. Mad Jonas finding a lot of time on that second run. Jumps himself up ahead of CR7. So a fantastic lap there from Mad Jonas. Definitely putting himself in the mix, as good to see who is next across the line. Poldy is on a cooldown lap. I believe the Pewdie Boy behind is also on a cooldown lap. We've got Robin, who is on a... I believe... No, he's not on a lap. Oh, he may be on a lap, actually. Maybe on an in-lap, actually. For but not what we like to see. Could definitely be a connection issue on my end, though. As we go down into turn 5, first gear for Graham, short shifting up into 3rd on the exit. As we go through turn 6 and now into 7, and then breaking down hard to climb the hill in turn 8. A little bit of a correction there from Graham as he climbed up the hill through turn 8. Now through turn 9. And into 10 and 11, 3rd gear. Important not to let the back end step out on you as we go through 12. Now into turn 13, 2nd gear once again, upshifting into 3rd. As we go into turn 14, 2nd gear, short shift into 3rd, into 4th. And on the exit, putting the foot down. Flat out to the line now for Graham in that Williams. What's this going to be for the Irishman? It's going to be a 17.2. It does get him ahead of Robin, so he jumps up into 13th place. Yaham, the only man left to set a lap time, as Stevie improved and got himself up into 5th as we got a Red Bull crossing the line. I believe that was Wesker who just started, who just crossed the line. As we got Jan to the line. Jan improves, jumps ahead of Scuba. Scuba is on an out lap though, so we'll see if he can respond. Yaham jumps himself up into 7th place. So a good lap there for Yaham. As we got Waffles, who is on a pretty bad lap, and we got Yogi now to the line. He is also well off his previous lap. Scuba gets himself underway as we got Dylan also getting himself underway. Robin is going down, and Wesker on a flying lap? Yes, he is. Wesker now coming into turn 14. We'll stay on board with the Red Bull to see if he can improve his time to get himself ahead of Carlsby and put himself in the hunt with CR7 and Mad Jonas. He's already out of ERS deployment though, so that's going to be an issue. As he comes to the line, he doesn't improve. Meanwhile, in behind, Sway just getting underway. Of course, Sway's previous lap was on a set of the medium compound tyres. As we got Scuba, the next man to come to the line. In fact, it is going to be Poldy, but Poldy's just starting a lap. I believe actually it is going to be. But did improve, but a bit of a glitch. We've got AJ now to the line, as I believe that was who just flew up the order then. It wasn't Alright, the game's bugging. The game is bugging a little bit as we got Elite Dave going up the order. Sway improves by 6 tenths, he gets himself up into 13th. Decent lap there from Sway. As we got Poldy now, he is a 10th up in the middle sector, 10th and a half up. Now to the line will come the Aston Martin. He loses all of his time in the final sector, so he knows he's got time there. It's all about stringing together that final sector. Scuba will be coming into the pits. Dylan, I believe, also potentially could be on his way into the pits, and he is going to be into the pits. So we'll go on board with Mad Jonas, who I think, yep, he's backed out. He's coming into the pits also. Robin about to get himself underway. I believe we got AJ, who's trying to give himself a little bit of a tow to CR7. Oh no, he's invalid. So I believe we got a Puny Boy to the line who doesn't improve, and I gotta ask the question. I'm going to go on board with Janya because I have a sneaking suspicion right now. It's just a sneaking suspicion. I don't think I'm in the lobby. That's my sneaking suspicion. I don't think I'm in the lobby right now, so I want to see how far Jan is off that first sector split. Okay, I might actually still be in the lobby. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I was seeing at times where they're 5 seconds off the pace. I thought maybe AIs. As we're going to stay on board with Jan actually, as we fly through the middle sector, through 10 and 11. Still about just under 2 tenths up as we come through turn 13. It's okay, cool boy. I figured that out. I was just seeing too many laps where they were about 5 seconds off the pace, and I got a little bit concerned. But Jan there, big improvement, jumps himself up into 5th place. Good lap there from Jan. As we got Carsby on an out lap, anyone on a flying lap? No one on a flying lap as of yet. You have a couple on out laps, so Carlsby will be the first one on out lap. So we'll see how Carlsby gets on. Oh no, Carlsby actually going to peel off into the pits, okay. Well, let's see what Wesker can do. DRS wide open, using the ERS down into turn 1. Just before the 50-meter board, 5th gear through there as we go through turn 2. And now all the way down into 2nd gear for turn 3, short shifting. Up through the gears into 4th and 5th and 6th, DRS wide open on the run down now into turn 5, a 10th up in sector 1. Going a little bit too deep on the exit though, through turn 5, definitely scoffed off a little bit of time there, did Wesker, as we go through 7 and 8. We climb up the hill, the Red Bull keeping it all in check here, as we go through turn 9 and now into 10 and 11. 3rd gear, decent rotation, but you can see lost a bit of time in our 2nd sector as we go through turns 13 and into turn 14. Keeping it in 3rd through 14 and upshifting through 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th as we go through turn 15 now. Flat out to the line will come Wesker. Is it going to be an improvement? It is an improvement by over a 10. So if Wesker can string together that middle sector, it could be dangerously close to CR7 and Mad Jonas this time. As I believe it's not CR7, it is AJ, the next person to cross the line. What can AJ do? Can AJ break into the top 10? DRS wide open. And he does, up into 7th place, goes to McLaren as we got the 2 Mercedes about to get their laps underway. Who have we got on a lap? We got Poldy to the line. He's up by a good margin and he improves and jumps himself up into 3rd place. As I believe Yaham also marginally improved, and I don't think he improved position, but he definitely marginally improved on his lap time as we got CR7 up by over a 10. Is CR7 going to snatch pole position away from Mad Jonas here? To the line comes the McLaren, and it is going to be a 16.1, a 2/10 improvement there for CR7, the defending champion here, coming on strong. As we got Mad Jonas who's still on the outlap, as we had Dylan there jumping up the order up into 6th place, as we got Scuba just getting himself underway, Carlsby getting himself underway. AJ, is he finding any time here? No, he's a little bit off, as we got Yogi there getting all out of shape as he crosses the line. Checker flag is out as Robin unable to get himself up the order. Graham does improve ahead of TTG Waffles. So Graham getting himself up there as we got Sway. Oh my god, was that a Pewdie Boy going off there? Yes, it was. Yaham to the line. What can Yaham do? He improves by just less than an attempt, jumps himself up into 6th place. But the battle right now is between Mad Jonas and CR7. Mad Jonas marginally up in the 1st sector. And in fact, we're going to go on board with Scuba 2 seconds as he's coming towards the end of his lap. Dylan, I believe, isn't on another flying lap. He could be, so we'll keep an eye on it to see if Dylan improves. Scuba is out of ERS deployment. Is this going to affect his time? No, it doesn't. He jumps up into 4th place. Fantastic there from Scuba as Mad Jonas now to the line. Is he doing enough? And he does enough. He takes the provisional pole position. Is there anyone there who can top him? AJ isn't on the lap, and that's it. That's the session over. Mad Jonas takes pole position here on the opening round of Season 6 here in TTML Formula 3. Mad Jonas on top. CR7 in second place, Carlsbury in third, with Poldy in fourth, Scuba in fifth, Wesker in sixth, Yaham in seventh, Dylan in eighth, Jan in ninth, and Stevie rounding out the top 10. As we wait for CR7 to retire from the session, and he does, so we wait now to see, to go through this grid one more time. So it is Matt Jonas who takes pole position here ahead of CR7, Carlsbury in third, Poldy in fourth, Scuba in fifth, Wesker in sixth, Yaham in seventh, Dylan in eighth, Jan in ninth, and Stevie G rounding out the top 10. And outside the top 10 with 3 tries to tie compound, we have AJ, Yogi, Hapuli Boy, Sway, Graham, TTG Waffles, TTG Robin, and Elite NL Dave rounding out the field, the 18-man field here tonight. Yeah, don't worry, Jamie, you haven't missed a start. Qualifying has just come to an end as, oh my god, get your rain clouds out, get your cagoule out, get your umbrellas. It is absolutely chucking it down here in Portimao. Guys, I'm not going to lie, are we actually racing here or are we going swimming? Look at the size of that puddle in the pit lane. That is a monstrosity. But it does bring out a very interesting dynamic for the race. Judging from the conditions, I'm very used to these conditions, being from Wales. This is summer conditions, this is, but it does look like it's going to be the extreme wet tyres on these cars, and it absolutely is. The blue wall wet tyres are out here in Portimao. Look at the puddles on track. This is going to be absolute carnage for everyone involved to make sure they stay on track here. This track tricky enough in the dry, but add these conditions to it, it's going to be a whole nother kettle of fish. Let me tell you that for a fact. I swear you can actually go swimming in these puddles. There's like a Lake Portimao here. For round number 1 in TTML Formula 3. As Robin and Dave being disqualified from the formation lap, and guys, you have to leave each other the space on the formation lap. You can't go colliding into each other, because that's when you end up getting reset to the grid. Your tyres aren't going to be warmed up, and in these conditions that can make all the difference in the world. As a predicted pit stop strategy, there is the no stop, so we could be in a situation where if it stays extreme all race, we may not see a pit stop window. All the time you have to leave her the space. You have to leave her the space all the time. As we wait for these cars now to take their grid positions for 33 laps of Portimao. Who is going to come out on top here? Who is going to master these conditions? Is it going to be wet all race? Will it be changeable conditions? Will we see an intermediate spell? Time will tell as these guys now form up on the grid. Mad Jonas on pole position, CR7 alongside. Who is going to have the run going down into turn 1? And here we go to those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway, and we definitely saw a couple of jump starts there from Dylan and Sway as we're on board with Carlsbury going into turn 1. CR7 trying it down the inside. Matt Jonas does leave him the space, to be fair, as Matt Jonas getting a big snap of this side by side through turn 3. CR7 down the inside as further in the background we got another side by side battle with Yaham and Jan as they climb up the hill, and Yaham going to be able to take that position and stay in P6. Matt Jonas though losing out to CR7 off the line, as in the background AJ, CR7's teammate there, getting very close with Wesker, as a Pewdie Boy is going to be coming under pressure now from Yogi, who just manages to make the move. And who is that in the background? It is TTG wobbling off in the grass, and I can tell you for a fact these cars do not like the grass at the best of times, never mind in these conditions. But two drivers with the drive-through penalty for jumping the start, Sway and Dylan, they're going to be in a world of their own if these conditions stay the same for this entire race. There's the predicted pit stop strategy. A 0 stop is possible, and also the 1 stop. But I'm guessing that will all depend on whether or not we see any safety cars in this race. But here we go now towards the end of lap 1. Oh my god, that's CR7. CR7's in the wall. We just got on board with Carlsbury, and CR7 has lost it. He is in the wall, and I can't. Oh my god, as we're on board with a Pewdie Boy, just goes straight into the back of Wesker. This is unbelievable stuff. And the Pewdie Boy 5-second time penalty. Wesker 5-second time penalty. Honestly, for Sway and Dylan, we hope that they were able to. Oh no. Dylan was able to serve his drive through, but I don't think Sway was able to. No. Dylan was in the pit lane just before the virtual safety car came out. Sway still has to serve a drive-through penalty. Dylan was in the perfect position. Sway, unfortunately, was just not in that position. CR7, the reigning Formula 3 champion, has made a fatal error coming through turn 15 and drops all the way to the back as we are green flag racing once again. As we go up towards the top end, we got Yogi getting past a Pewdie Boy who gets caught napping on the restart, and he's actually gone off track, and that has definitely got to be with the damage, as Graham is down the inside, and I believe the Pewdie Boy will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, and that is for sure. Meanwhile, towards the top end, Carlsbury, who has managed to get the jump on Mad Jonas as well. Let's not forget Mad Jonas, the man who started on pole position. He dropped down to P3 but promoted to P2 after CR7 made that mistake in the final corners. We've got Jan and Yaham battling once again, the Aston Martin and the Haas. Jan looking to try and get this move done on Yaham. Yaham trying to defend as for Pewdie Boy comes into the pits, and Sway, you got a feel for him. Dylan was able to get his drive-through penalty served. Sway unfortunately wasn't able to do so, as we got a lot of side-by-side action, as we got Waffles and Yogi battling it out, and we got AJ and Jan almost side-by-side. In fact, they are side-by-side as we go through turn number 8. AJ all the way around the outside makes it stick the McLaren up into P6. Fantastic stuff there from AJ. Incredible move from the Papaya Orange McLaren car, as we're starting to see a few gaps from Carlsbury, getting a bit of a breathing space out in front. Of course, Carlsbury last season always showed promise, and it just kind of fell away from him, but towards the end of the season he was definitely showing some good pace and getting in some good positions, and obviously he's carried that on going into this season as Wesker and Jan having a scrap for P7. Here comes Jan looking to use the ERS to go past Wesker. Wesker giving a big old squeeze to the inside Moves back to the racing line for turn 1. Looks like a bit of a switchback line. Jan getting a little bit tail happy on the exit. And Wesker sends it down the inside. Can the Red Bull make it stick? Yes, he can, and that's allowed Waffles actually to go side by side with Jan up the hill through turn 4, and they are wheel to wheel. A little bit of a snap there from Jan, a little bit of wheel banging between the pair as they run down into turn 5, and Waffles gets up into 8th place. Jan going from potentially overtaking Wesker to losing out to Waffles there. Red Bull teamwork may be in order right there as the rain is still falling. Is again lighter. It may be getting a bit lighter, but right now it is still full wet conditions. Look at these clouds. It is absolutely disgraceful as we go on to start lap number 5 of 33. It is Carlsbury, the man out in front, ahead of Mad Jonas. Scuba in 3rd. Then we got the Aston Martins of Yaham and Paudi in 4th and 5th as that Jan getting all out of shape there on the exit of turn 15, losing out multiple positions. And see, Dave is going to be closing in rapidly as Graham's all over the back of Yoki for P9 now. As we got a yellow flag, and that's Mad Jonas. Mad Jonas is around. The man who put on pole position is around. This is incredible. It looks like CR7 and Mad Jonas, the two drivers who are now the Scuba in 2nd place and Paudi now in 3rd. As the Red Bulls line the stern in 6th and 7th. Wesker still ahead as we got, oh no, is that Robin off again? Yep, Robin's in the wall, and it's a full course safety car. Okay, now this is going to bring the likes of CR7 back into it along with Sway, who unfortunately, oh no, as Jan has got a 5-second stop-go penalty. Will Wesker serve his time penalty? That's the question. Anyone going to come into the pits? Absolutely no. Now guys, I will not be able to see your comments anymore as we've got CR7 into the pits, getting the car stopped, and he's going to try and get rid of his 5-second time penalty. As Robin picks up a 3-second time pen. Stevie will jump ahead of Jan, Dave and CR7. CR7 getting a wing change as well, dropping down behind her Pewley boy. Salisbury will not be happy with the and it's just been swiped away, so now he has to build that gap all over again. Scuba, Poldy, Yaham, AJ will be fanging the safety car coming out, so it brings them back into the race. Yeah, actually we will have a look at the position changes. I did just turn YouTube back on, I'm not gonna lie. So the big gainer is of course TTG Waffles, up 9 places from 16th all the way up into 7th place for TTG Waffles, and obviously the big loser is CR7 from the front row down to 17th place, almost all the way at the back. Robin not having the best of times so far. His spin was the cause of the safety car, but maybe now Robin might be able to get a little bit used to these conditions, maybe try and feel them out, but with that back end slide, I'm guessing not. So they are our big winners and losers here, as we have a situation going on with Graham, Dylan and Stevie. And Jan and Dave having a bit of a trade-in position. So hopefully everyone just sticks in their formation. Mad Jonas down 7 spots as well, from pole position down to 8th place with that spin. The Aston Martin's looking good right now in 3rd and 4th. The Red Bull's looking pretty decent in 6th and 7th. Of course, AJ flying the flag for McLaren, picking up after the CR7 made his big mistake through the final corner, losing the back end, which caused the virtual safety car at the most inopportunistic time for Sway, but the perfect time for Dylan, as Dylan was able to service drive through as he was already in the pit lane, but unfortunately Sway ended up serving a pit stop, which meant he also had to come back in again to service drive through. As we will be on the safety car for one more lap, as Mad Jonas has decided to make a pit stop. What is Mad Jonas thinking? It is the green wall tyres. Mad Jonas is gambling. He's going for the intermediates. Now this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Mad Jonas opting for a set of the the intermediate compound tyres, as he comes out in 17th place. The rain is getting lighter. This could be inspired from Mad Jonas to make this switch right here, right now. The only man on the intermediates. Is it a lap too early? I'm not sure. The puddles are very, very apparent, but the rain is getting lighter. So has Mad Jonas called an absolute blinder here in making the right call to go into the inters, or has he absolutely butchered it by going too soon? We don't know, but the safety car should be in this lap, and it is. So Carlsby will back up the pack as Dave has left the session. And Robin, is he going to be able to get to the back of the pack before they get going? He was that far behind. He's taken 3 laps and he's not on the back just yet. But now Carlsby is getting us underway. He's closed up to that safety car a little bit too quick though. He may have to back off. I think he's gone way too early. But no, we are underway with racing once again. It is green flag conditions here on lap 9. Carlsby going absolutely pinpoint accuracy there. I think he went a little bit too early. Let's see how Mad Jonas is getting on these intermediates. So as Robin picks up a 3-second time penalty, it does look like it was a lap or two too soon, as he doesn't appear to be gaining much in the corners. As Graham and Dylan side by side as they come out of turn 5. Dylan getting the move down on Graham. Stevie G in behind, waiting for an opportunity in his Scuderia Ferrari, as the timing glitches as once again cropped up for us, and we have no idea who is the closest to the car ahead. Things you love to see, eh? Does look like Mad Jonas. Oh my god, Jam was down the inside of Stevie, and Stevie with a big X on his name. Is he still in the session? No, he's just left the session. And now on board with Dylan, who's over the back of Yogi into the slipstream. Dylan going to move to the inside for turn 1. This is brave in the full wet conditions, but he backs out of it. Probably a wise choice there. As yes, it looks like Mad Jonas has gone a bit too early, as Stevie obviously not in his car. His AI is going to drop down Yoda. Robin picking up another 3-second time penalty. Oh, is that we just went so go off? I don't know, but we got Dylan and knocked down the inside of Yogi. He's not going to go for it. And in fact, Yogi goes so far wide. Dylan's going to say, thank you, I'll take that P8. Thank you very much. Dylan up into 8th place. Yogi down into 9th. Stevie's AI dropping down the order once again. Carlsbury with a very good restart. He's managed to build a gap once again. Carlsbury looking in fine form here tonight, as the rain does appear to be getting lighter. The question is, when does it turn to the intermediate conditions? As we are home, up and down the grid, it's enough to make this move. He's going to have to stick behind the man in the Alpine and picks himself up a 3-second time penalty to boot. As he goes into the back of Dave there, does CR7, and that's I think he's going to land back through. Yes, he is, and that was perfectly timed, because now he can try and carry the speed to go around the outside, but he doesn't. He elects to let Dave go completely back ahead. Dave with a big old lockup going into turn 5, runs a bit deep on the exit, and CR7 not really pressing the issue. Meanwhile, the battle for 10th between Graham, Jan, Sway and the Pewley Boys starting to heat up here. 4-man battle, as I get the internet connection quality not sufficient enough to broadcast gameplay. You're having a bubble. You are having a bubble. As we come around the final couple of corners to start lap 12 of 33. We are just over a third of the way through this race. It is Carlsbury out in the lead, with Scuba in second place, Poldy in third, Yaham in fourth with a time penalty to his name, AJ in fifth, Wesker and Waffles in sixth and seventh. Graham doing just enough to make sure he doesn't lose time, and then we're going to see the intermediates come into play, because it definitely does look like it's intermediate conditions right now. Mad Jonas using the grip at the inters. Oh, contact, and Dave is around. It's an awkward one now. One may go into the stewards, but it is the intermediate conditions now. Does Mad Jonas have wing damage by any chance? I'm not sure, but he is starting to close in now on the cars ahead, and we're going to see these guys come into the pit surely within this lap, maybe in the next lap. But for the Aston Martins, that's going to be a double stack, and the same for the Red Bulls as well. It's going to be a double stack. Will Carlsbury pit? The Inters are the right choice. Carlsbury stays out. The Scuba pit. Scuba stays out. Poldy stays out. Yaham. AJ's in. AJ has made the right call here. He's coming to the pits for the set of the intermediates. And so has Sway. And Sway picks himself up a 5-second speeding penalty. The intermediates are definitely the right call right now, as Mad Jonas has jumped AJ, and he will be closing in on Carlsbury, Scuba and everyone ahead of AJ, who was ahead. So Mad Jonas with that strategy of coming into the pits under the safety car. Oh no, he's lost it. He's lost it. Mad Jonas is around, and That is going to drop him well down the field now. He's not going to have the jump that he would have hoped for, but he is just ahead now of AJ, and Jonas went from possibly being in the lead, and that's an opportunistic move there from AJ, and that's Yogi in the wall. Yogi has gone off in the exit of turn 8, and that is a virtual safety car, and now we're going to see surely we're going to see Carlsbury and Scuba and Poldy and Yaham into the pits now. Surely these guys are going to be pitting. There's no need to stay out on these wets. It is intermediate conditions. Carlsbury stays out. Scuba needs to pit, and Scuba does pit, and Poldy does follow him through. Does Wesker pit? Yep, Wesker pits. Waffles stays out. So Carlsbury didn't pit, and because of it, he's effectively dropped a lot of a time here, as Scuba will come out in P5, but on those intermediates he's going to be in the race lead with Poldy in second. Jonas, is he in a net P3 right now? You can argue it. I think Carlsbury, bad decision there from the Alfa Romeo. Definitely should have come into the pits, and he's probably kicking himself now as he sees this ring getting so much lighter. And obviously on lap, oh no, Yaham's out of this race. Oh my god, how has he lost it there? I can only imagine Yaham is causing a lot of issues, because his car looks completely solid as you climb up the hill. I can only imagine him losing it on that left hand side, hitting the wall and bouncing back on track, but unbelievable here as Carlsbury stayed out for another lap. As does Waffles. Jan surely going to be pitting. Oh, Jan stays out as well. So Poldy and Scuba are using these intermediate tyres to really close up to the back of Jan. Jonas now with the fastest lap of the race, so it is definitely the intermediate conditions. It is proof right there with the fastest lap. I'm not sure what Carlsbury's game plan is here, because we got the gap to the leader, and look at how quickly that time is coming down between Scuba and Carlsbury. Look at how quick it's coming down. And CR7 with a new fastest lap. So the times are getting quicker on the intermediate tyres. And look at it. It's absolutely flying down. It's been half a second already in this lap alone. Carlsbury has to pit. He has to respond to these intermediate tyres. He has to. He cannot stay out. The Alfa Romeo needs to pit, and he does. He is going to come into the pits now. Surely Waffles and Jan need to follow suit and follow him in. The question is now, has Carlsbury left it too late to maintain this race lead? As he now gets into the pit box, and yet Scuba, I think, is going to have the overspeed to get through here. There is Carlsbury, and he's going to drop behind Poldy. And Jonas now with the new fastest lap. Carlsbury goes from the race lead down into 4th place, and Jan sticking it out on the full wet tyres. And Waffles actually top. There's intermediate conditions right now, but Jan is in third with Carlsbury in 4th, who looked absolutely impervious in the wet conditions. Made a bad strategy call, and unfortunately it's led to him losing the race lead and dropping a lot of time now. Jan really pinching Carlsby there to the curb. Carlsby going to try and use the grip of those inders to go around the outside. And now Mad Jonas over the back, and Jan there causing absolute carnage as, oh my god, Mad Jonas into the back. I hope that is not wing damage for the Ferrari, but it could very well be wing damage. Yeah, it is. He's into the pits. Mad Jonas with wing damage. Heartbreak for the Ferrari. He was looking in fine form. Absolutely flying up the field as he was setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Comes across a driver on the wrong set of tyres and it all comes crumbling. As now AJ is the next man to try and get past the Haas of Jan, who is definitely causing a lot of issues here. On the wrong tyre as a Pewdieboy and Graham having a bit of a battle. Graham sending it all the way around the outside of a Pewdieboy. Pewdieboy defends to the inside, gets a bit of a snap. That's going to allow Graham to come back at him perhaps, as AJ is getting through. Pewdieboy holds on as now Dylan able to get through on Jan as well. Robin in the chat saying he's done as Dylan gives the position back to Jan, so maybe overtaking yellow flag conditions, and there goes Dylan all the way around the outside on those intermediate conditions. Yep, Robin definitely wasn't a good race, definitely a race to forget here tonight, and Jan now going to come back at Dylan, but it's the wrong tyre, it's the wrong conditions. Jan is dropping like a rock in the ocean, and it's just going to cause problems as Wesker in 7th place. Bearing in mind, before the pit stops and everything happened, Wesker was closer to AJ than he was Pewdieboy, as Wesker tries to send it all the way around the outside. A little bit of contact there between Wesker and Jan. Wesker through and up in 6th place, but Wesker was staying out so long on those wet tyres, lost himself a lot of time. Waffles, another one who unfortunately suffered the wrath of not changing onto the right tyres. He unfortunately ended up going on a set of the wet, so he had to make a second pit stop, and now Jan comes into the pits for the intermediates, surely, and Jan causing a lot of issues for a lot of drivers here tonight. As Yogi picks up a 3-second time penalty. As closest battle we have on track is actually this one between Dave and Yogi, and Jan's going to come out not too far behind this, so could have a tasty three-way scrap for P12 if we're lucky. The only other battle we got going on is the battle between the Williams drivers of Graham and Sway, but I have a feeling that if Sway is quicker than Graham, Graham's just going to let Sway go, and vice versa. As we wait for a battle to happen, let's have a look at the penalty situation. So Dylan on a 3-second time penalty, Sway on 8 seconds. Remember, he picked up the 5-second stop-go penalty when he made his pit stop, and obviously a 3-second time penalty to boot. It has been a very good recovery drive though from both Sway and Dylan, who picked up drive-through penalties at the start. So let's not forget that. It has been a very good recovery from both drivers to get themselves back into the top 10. And the same for CR7 as well, who made that mistake on the exit of turn 15 into the wall. He was last by a long way, and I believe he got wing damage as well after the safety car, which meant he had to make another pit stop. And he made that pit stop for the Inters. Mad Jonas, under the safety car, made a pit stop for the intermediate tyres. It wasn't switched on for him in the first few laps, but it came to him, and then he made the one mistake which lost him a lot of time, and then he got wing damage, and off the back of, I believe, Jan, who was still out there on the set of the wet tyres. So Mad Jonas and CR7 have been in the absolute wars. Sway and Dylan dealing with the wrath of the drive-through penalty. As Carlsbury sets a new fastest lap, so Carlsbury now starting to close in on Poldy. So as it was in the wet conditions, Carlsbury is looking like he's the quickest man in these conditions. As Sway, is he going to be able to be close and make a move on his teammate? I'm not sure. The X above Graham's name says he could. Oh my, I am, oh no, oh Jesus. And that is potentially issues on my end. I'm not sure. To anyone in the chat, can you let me know, is the stream lagging for you guys? Is it the stream or is it just the session in general? Let me know. As now we have Carlsbury closing up to the back of Powdy for P2 here. We're on lap 23 of 33. Scuba is out in the lead. Powdy in second, but now becoming under pressure from Carlsbury in third place. AJ under pressure from Dylan for P4. Mad Jonas picking himself up a 3-second time penalty after getting the fastest lap. Sway all over the back of his teammate Graham. Can Carlsbury get this move done now on the Aston Martin? As we go through turn 15, the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped here in Portimao, so we may be a lap, maybe 2 laps away from dry tyres. Who's going to make the plunge first? There's definitely still the sheen of the damp track, so I don't think anyone's going to make the plunge this lap, but maybe by the end of the next lap we'll see someone into the pit as Carlsbury gets close to Poldy, tries it down the inside. Poldy with the exit though, and they're going to be wheel to wheel, side by side as they come up the hill through turn 6, and Carlsbury now into second places to go through 7 and 8. Holdy losing out there to Carlsbury. And now Carlsbury can go chasing after Scuba for this race victory. Not seeing any spray come off those tyres, but it does look like it is just a little bit damp on track. It might not be time for the dry tyres yet. Will anyone take the gamble? Scuba stays out, Carlsbury stays out, Powdy stays out. AJ stays out, Dylan stays out. Might be still a lap or two to go. Dylan picks himself up another 3-second time penalty in his pursuit of AJ for P4, and that's going to put him under pressure now from Wesker, who's within 6 seconds as CR7 gets the move down on Sway, and up into P9 goes the reigning Formula 3 champion in CR7 on a recovery drive and a half. Lap 25 of 33 is still intermediate, so the rain has stopped. The track is going to dry out. We will change to the dry compound tyres by the end of this race, I can assure you of that. The question is when. As Waffles is out of the session, is that going to bring out a safety car? It is. It's a full course safety car. Everyone should be in the pits right now. Box in the pits. Check on a set of the dry compound tyres. As Carlsbury's actually almost come to a complete halt. Into the pits now comes everyone. And Jan is on the set of the softs already. So everyone will be into the pits, dry compound tyres. And we're going to have a lovely sprint to the end. For Sway, this is brilliant because he gets rid of his 5-second stop-go penalty. And who else has that penalty? No, it is just Sway. Soft tyres on for absolutely everyone now, as the track is almost bone dry. By the time the safety car comes in, we should be on a completely dry track. But it just makes sense for everyone to come into the pits now to put on a set of the dries. Makes perfect sense. And Majonas will get the jump on Sway due to that 5-second stop go. So Sway does lose one position, but he has got rid of that penalty. Dylan on 6 seconds of time penalties. This has to be infuriating for him, and yet the track is now dry completely. So I have a feeling that everyone, if they played it smart, would have been into the pits anyway at the end of that lap regardless. But we are now set for a sprint to the finish, as we got Matt Tibos in the chat supporting Scuba, who took the race lead with a perfectly timed switch to the intermediate tyres. Compared to Carlsbury, who was in the race lead, he stayed long on those full wet tyres, didn't make the switch early enough, and he lost out. However, in the dry, who is going to come out on top here? It is a safety car. We're just about to start lap 27 of 33. Soft compound tyre, so absolutely everyone. That is the penalty situation. Dylan on 6 seconds. CR7, Marjona, Sway, Yogi, Elite Dave and Jan on 3 seconds apiece. That is the number of pit stops made. CR7 has been in the lane 4 times this race. and he is on a big recovery, as is Mad Jonas. We saw two drive-through penalties at the start of this race, with Dylan and Sway picking up a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. A virtual safety car came out as Dylan was in the pit serving his drive-through penalty. Sway unfortunately just mistimed it. He wasn't able to get into the pit to serve his drive-through, so they ended up pitting him, meaning he had to serve a drive-through on the following lap. So Dylan able to get away with that one, hence the golf in position between the pair. But now, as Wesker and the Pulley Boy had a little swap around there, hopefully they keep it clean. Safety car should be out for another lap, I presume, before we go racing again. It has been a very chaotic race here in Portimao. Mad Jonas took the first pole position of the season. CR7, the reigning champion, they've both had issues this race, and has seen them both drop down the order dramatically. Sway Dylan with drive-throughs at the start, both on a recovery drive, trying to get themselves up the order. Scuba making the perfect time to make a pit stop, along with Poldy making that pit stop also, allowing them both to jump Carlsby. But Carlsby in the wet was absolutely fantastic, and he was able to close back up and overtake Poldy, and he was definitely looking like the fastest man on those intermediates, and definitely was on the wets as well. The question is, does he have the pace in the dry? Portimao. Incredible, as TTML Formula 2 has come to an end. But we still have a few more laps to go here in this race. As the safety car should be in at the end of this lap. Jana has now closed up to the back of the pack. Safety car should be in, and we should see the lights go out. Yep, the lights are out. So we'll have 5 more laps to the end of this race. Any penalty you pick up now is going to matter massively, as Scuba will back up the pack, and we're going to wait for him to get underway. And he does get us underway right now, and Carlsby able to stick with him, and he's going to use his ERS. He's got a nice run actually, as AJ dropping down the order for Dave, and Carlsby over the back of Scuba. Can Scuba break away from Carlsby? Because once DRS is enabled, it's going to be very difficult to keep the Alfa Romeo behind. And he actually goes into the back of Scuba. That could be wing damage now for Carlsby. So that could help Scuba here. The eagerness of Carlsby going into the back, and he is losing time through turns 15, and Dylan Wesker setting new fastest laps in behind, and Poldy gonna try and have a little luck. Not close enough, no. Scuba keeps a hold of the lead, and Poldy they get onto the curb, and that's allowed Dylan to break through. So Dylan and Wesker now up the spot. Wesker up in the 4th, Dylan up into the podium position. As CR7 under pressure from Mad Jonas. As Mad Jonas going to send it around the outside. As the Ferrari trying to get away from AJ in behind us. The McLaren have sandwiched the Ferrari pairing. Sorry, the Ferrari sandwiched by the McLaren pairing. back up towards the front though. Carsbury still over the back of Scuba. Everyone still very close to each other. Graham unfortunately dropping down to 12th place. He's off the back and he's in his own little battle with Jan. But now, is Carsbury going to be able to make this move on Scuba? He's using his ERS. DRS has now been enabled as Wesker maintains first place, but Carsbury back down the inside once again. Is he able to make this move? No, he isn't, but he's going to open things up for Dylan to have a little luck, but Dylan also can't make the move stick. DRS down into turn 5. Absolutely no moves being made, and Scuba now very low on his ERS, and we just saw the red light flashing. There's actually Carsbury there. Oh, this yeah, X is above everyone's name. More issues here in tonight's stream. Everything is kicking right off. As we expect a lead change to happen now, as we go on to lap 32, onto the penultimate lap. Scuba is in the lead, but probably won't be for much longer, as Carsbury is coming in thick and fast, and he will have the DRS. Scuba does not have the ERS, he doesn't have the DRS to fight this, and Carsbury is into the lead of this race. But fortunately for Scuba, he is right behind and will have DRS on the final lap. As further down the field, we got AJ and Mad Jonas. Mad Jonas actually off track, picking up a 3-second time penalty. AJ trying to carve his way past the Ferrari, unable to do so. CR7 able to get the jump on a PewDiePie. What's been going down a little bit further down the order, as yep, the X is above everyone's name. Still continues to haunt, as there is the I'm just turning on the stream with what's going on. Is the stream still live? It is for me. I don't want to check on the... Yeah, the stream is still live for me. It's still broadcasting on my end. I'm not sure what's gone on. I think the connection has completely dropped on my end. But what I'll do, I'll definitely save the remaining footage, as everything is going pear-shaped here for me, as I'm getting messages, and I know but it is Carsbury now coming around the final 2 corners. Mad Jonas and the PewDiePie trading positions there, but Carsbury is going to come to the line. He is going to pick up the first win of the season, and it's going to be Scuba and Wesker on the podium along with him. Carsbury takes win, Scuba in second place, Wesker in third, Powdy in fourth, PewDiePie in fifth, AJ in sixth, CR7 in seventh, Dylan in eighth, Sway in ninth, Mad Jonas rounding out the top 10, Jan in 11th, Graham in 12th, Stevie's AI in 13th, and then we got Yogi in 14th, and fortunately I don't think anyone was able to see the end of this race due to the connection issues. As I believe, yep, Yogi is just going around. And there we go. But there we go, on the top step of the podium, it is Carlsbury. And then we got Scuba in second place, Wesker in third. And a issue-filled stream with everything that's gone on here tonight. Not sure why the stream just died on my end, but yes, I will be saving this footage so you guys can obviously view it later. Yeah, but that's going to draw an end to the opening round here in TTML Formula 4. It is Carlsbury who takes victory with Scuba in second place, Wesker in third, and a very interesting race indeed. And until next week, guys, hopefully the stream and everything will be much better next week. But until then, guys, I've been Mike, and we'll see you in the next stream. Good night.